ES Audio.
From the Evening Standard in London, I'm Rochelle Travers, and this is The Leader. Say hello to London's newest annual comedy festival, Just for Laughs. Originally founded in Quebec, Canada back in 1983, it has since gone on to become the largest international comedy festival in the world, helping establish huge stars such as the likes of Amy Schumer and Kevin Hart. Now it's hitting London for the first time and taking over the O2 Arena for 4 days from the 2nd to the 5th of March. The lineup features Graham Norton, Katherine Ryan, plus none other than Hollywood megastar and Wrexham co-owner Ryan Reynolds. But what's the story behind this event? Why have they come to London? And will this be a staple on the calendar for years to come? Bruce Hills is the president of Just for Laughs.
We started a festival only in French in 1983. In 1985, an English component was added. I got a job soon after that in 1986. And from that point forward, we produced, what we regard as the most prestigious comedy festival in the world, a huge UK contingent every year. And just about every British name you've ever heard of in comedy, just about every, has come through Just for Laughs at one time or another in Montreal. Because the Montreal Festival is a big industry launch pad. So not only do we have funny comedians from all over the world, but Hollywood, London, Toronto, the world comes to Montreal to see the next big thing. So that's become a big calling card for us, our discoverability aspect of our festival. And for many, many years, we were on British television, starting off on Channel 4 for probably a decade, with all kinds of amazing talent coming over and hosting shows, bringing Just for Laughs into the homes of Brits for many, many years. We have not had what we would have liked, I think, say, in the last 5 to 10 years in terms of the broadcast opportunity for JFL Montreal, something we're hoping to change shortly so Brits can see what we do every summer in Montreal. But, for a very long time, Channel 4, at that time, Paramount Comedy Network, BBC, Channel 5, all broadcast the best of Montreal for probably a good 30 years. Something we hope to have back soon is a strong broadcast partner here. So that was a very important part. British comedy and Montreal, they go together very nicely. Canadians love British comedy, and I think the Brits like the fact that Canadian audiences sort of pick up on them a bit faster than the American audiences. So it was always a nice place to make your North American debut, something that we took great pride in bringing the best of the best from the UK every summer. In the last 10 years or so, though, we've expanded our festival footprint to not only be in Canada with our, of course, Montreal event that celebrated its 40th anniversary this summer, but we just celebrated our 10th anniversary in Toronto. We also have a Vancouver event, an event in Austin, Texas that happens next month, and one in Sydney, Australia at the Sydney Opera House. So 6 festivals around the world. Just about all of them have impressive UK talent every edition.
So Bruce, it begs the question really, why have you decided to bring Just for Laughs to London then?
The UK and London in particular are very important to JFL. We've thought about and even tried a little bit ways to get the brand live in London. And when we started talking to our friends at the O2 and AEG, saying that, there would be an opportunity to create something unique, something of, something first class, something that they thought Brits would respond to, we started to talk. And the more we learned about the potential of this incredible footprint here at the O2, and possibly in years to come, adding other venues elsewhere, it gave us a feeling that we could produce something special, something that would make an impact. Because, London, New York, LA, they're tough cities. You have to have an original proposition to work. Just coming into London, spreading ourselves out across the city, a city that already has an unbelievable amount of comedy every night. We didn't think that was the right solution. We felt it had to have a heart, and it had to have to some degree, a one-stop shop. You get off the tube here and the festival's in front of you, and there are shows in all sizes of venues at all different price points. There's a festival pass that you can buy to access just about everything. That's the reason. This is such an important market to us, but we wouldn't put our toe in unless we felt we could be very successful.
What have been some of the biggest challenges setting up a new comedy festival in London?
Well, look, the good news is we're in conversations with the agents and managers and the acts themselves on a regular basis. So when we add a festival, it's an additional aspect to every conversation we have. So in a way, it's really quite efficient. I mean, what the challenge of London is that it's a busy market. You're just trying to navigate people's schedules so they can do their show within your dates. But some artists cannot. Some artists wanted to do this festival. I have some pretty famous ones that I'm sure we'll get in year 2 or 3. They've got a movie. Look, Jimmy Carr. We wanted Jimmy at the festival. He's a big supporter of JFL. He wanted to come, but he's in Australia on a tour that was confirmed well before this festival's confirmed. So the scheduling is always the challenge. But look, I found that the response we got from our friends in the UK comedy scene really receptive. They trust us. They want to be a part of what we do. But scheduling is always the tricky part.
Let's go to the ads. Stay there to hear from Bruce Hills, president of Just for Laughs, on what the future holds for the festival in London.
After every festival we ever do, we have a very extensive postmortem and start to think about what year 2 and 3 looks like.
Why not hit rate and follow in the meantime? Welcome back. Just explain some of the practicalities of the festival now. How long is it? Who's featuring? What can people look forward to?
Of course. So our opening night is Thursday, March 2nd. It runs all the way through Sunday, March 5th. We have some big, impressive arena shows. Graham Norton's variety show with an amazing lineup. Katherine Ryan, Phil Wang, on and on. We have Canadian Ryan Reynolds and a Q&A moderated by Rob Delaney, which is going to be a lot of fun. We have, all kinds of shows all night long. We have a great relationship with Comic Relief, with the legendary Richard Curtis hosting a show on Sunday. There's really something for everyone. I think one of the things that we do at Just for Laughs is try to create unique events. So Ryan's a perfect example. If we'd asked him to come in and do an hour of stand-up, he would have said no, because he's not a stand-up, although he's a very funny person. What could we create with Ryan to give him an opportunity to perform at our festival and do something that you don't see every day? Graham, as much as he hosts the best talk show in the business, people don't get to see this type of bill very often with Graham. So, we thought we could create something with Graham and build a proposition, something that a comedy fan can't see every day. Something like the wrestling. I mean, it's a show that has comics, obviously, but it also is a show that gives the comics a chance to do something a little different, to have a little bit of fun. We have 2 very exciting shows we're doing with Comic Relief. One is the show that Richard Curtis is hosting with some amazing guests, including Jonathan Ross and some people that I can't mention yet, but there's going to be some big stars showing up with him. Also on Sunday, we have Sue Perkins hosting her show. These are both in aid of Comic Relief. There's also an opportunity to donate to Comic Relief when you buy your tickets, and we'll have a variety of ways to support Comic Relief at the event itself as well. It's very important that we support this amazing cause, and hopefully it's a partnership that will last a long time. That's something we're really excited about.
And what can you tell us about the future of the festival? Can we look forward to this every year?
All I can say is that after every festival we ever do, we have a very extensive postmortem and start to think about what year 2 and 3 looks like. We don't really say anything before that, because we want to experience year 1 before we start commenting on year 2 and 3 and beyond. So the first thing we have to do is experience it. Look at what went down. Make sure we learn from the experience and continue to build from what we've learned for the next year. Ask me in a couple of weeks.
But there will be a next year?
Yeah. Well, listen, we have to get through the first one, but the plan is to be here for the long term.
And that's it from The Leader. This podcast is back tomorrow at 4 p.m.